Quite often I'm asked this question. Quite often I'm asked this question. Quite often I'm asked this question. Are top-handled chainsaws or lighter weight saws designed to be used one-handed? That's the question. Nowadays, however, there are several small pruning chainsaws that have rotating saw chain. And I guess you could call those a one-handed chainsaw. But they're specially guarded. They have a covered tip for the reactive forces in many cases. But they are designed to be used one-handed. I guess in my thoughts they can be very useful. If you put your hand beside or in front of this and the saw moves, holding a limb, you increase your chances of coming in contact. However, position of your body parts is key to maintaining safety in operation of these tools. The chainsaw in most common work required for tree care and logging, storm debris, firewood, for example, the equipment is much different. It's heavier, it's more powerful, and designed for two-handed operation and stability. For many years, the highest point of laceration incidents with chainsaws were affecting the left hand. The left leg was second among the highest cuts. Some were from reactive forces, and most likely some were from position of the operator. And probably a mix of fatigue was thrown in. The operator is tired, fatigued, and comes in contact with his or her arm, hand, leg, head, or torso. When you hold a chainsaw one-handed, it's just a matter of time before an incident takes place. Why do they have top-handled saws then? Why do they have top-handled saws then? It fits your hand perfect. Why do they have top-handled saws then? It fits your hand perfect. One story from a professional friend who had an incident with a top-handled professional saw. It was right at a 100-degree day. He was working out of a bucket. He was cutting a limb slightly above his shoulder. He reached out with one hand. Either the chainsaw hit the kick corner or the limb as it was falling pushed back. It flipped the chainsaw back over on his right hand and into his right arm, cutting it almost to the bone. The design concepts of a rear handle versus top handle is this. When you place your hands on a long handled saw, the weight when lifted immediately goes to your left hand. Your right hand is just for stabilizing. Because of the balance points of the top-handled saw, the weight load is very evenly applied to both hands, both arms. This configuration still allows reach but maintains better control and weight load to reduce body and arm fatigue. So for many years, manufacturers and I have been preaching, don't use one hand on a chainsaw. I hear just about every week, the effects of one-handed or loss of control operator incidents. Stories of past incidents of a person, a family, a coworker come up in conversations often. My challenge to you, homeowner, firewood cutter, logger, if you're using a chainsaw, use both hands. Use both hands. Use both hands. If you're a logger, firewood, arborist, and you have a chainsaw with two handles, use both hands. Accidents are unplanned events. It can happen to any of us if we're not constantly planning. My final and very important finish to this one-hand sawing monologue is this. I see chainsaw operators on social media and TV all the time using chainsaws one-handed and without proper personal protective equipment, PPE. Maybe you're a seasoned operator and have done it for many, many years. But those watching and learning from you, watching the media, may not have the same skill set. We're all teachers. Future saw operators are picking up techniques from you that can change their lives positively or negatively. We're all teachers that can change their lives positively or negatively. Please take the time for proper planning and organization And don't put yourself in situations of using the chainsaw one-handed. There's a fine line between production and safety. Let's consider the fine line of one-handed sawing. There's a fine line between safety and production. Let's consider the line. Let's consider the fine line of one-handed sawing. Let's consider the fine line of one-handed sawing. Let's consider the fine line of one-handed sawing. One-handed saw operation, just don't do it. I hope you've been able to pick up something today to think about and maybe be able to learn a little bit regarding one-handed chainsaw operation. You know, there's so many things that we have worked with over the years. For me, it's been over 35 or so. And all the travels that I've done and talking to people in workshops, which have been many, better than 70,000 people. And you know, in many of those workshops, people have talked about injuries that have taken place, and often it's because of one-handed operation or loss of control, one-handed moving the saw to the side. All of those things seem to add up in those kinds of results. So, thanks for coming by today. We hope you picked up something in this Tim's Tips. Please check out our website at www.forestapps.com. You can message us at info@forestapps.com. Our videos on YouTube, our channel. Please subscribe, press like, and leave any comments that you'd like, any topics that we may be able to cover in future tips. So this is Tim Ard for Forest Applications Training Incorporated. Thank you much. Have a good one.